Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai, and welcome to Frogs on Friday on a very sunny but quite fresh, beautiful day here in Tamaki Makaurau. Now, before I get started, a quick shout out to Isha for hosting the show last week while I was flying back from Wellington. So, thank you very much. I'm sure you were in very good hands. And on today's show, we've got some good employment news in Mahi Media. We'll go through our hot jobs, both in Aotearoa and further abroad. And I'm joined by Manish Ravikumar, who will talk about workplace flexibility conflict. And as always, we will finish off with the polls. So let's start off with Mahi Media. Okay, so I promised you some good news, which is always good for a change. So we have the results out, and there's a record number of Kiwis are working in New Zealand at the moment. So the employment rate reached a record high of 69.8%, so just shy of 70. And that's the highest since we started recording back in 1986. And this was also a year-on-year increase of 4%. So what does this mean? It's a really good indication that if you are looking for work, you've got a pretty good chance of finding it. Salary data for the June quarter has also been released, and that showed that average hourly wages rose 6.9%, which means that wage inflation is actually slightly outpacing inflation, which is at 6%. So it's great, of course, to have positive news, but you do have to take that with a grain of salt, unfortunately, and remember that technically we are in a recession. And on the other side of the fence, employers are pessimistic. So my advice would be to make the most of the market conditions now, because you can expect to see some further bumps in the job market. So things like fewer vacancies, more competition for jobs. And remember, as inflation flattens and we're starting to see those movements getting control on inflation, so will we see wage increases drop as well. So again, my advice, be clear about what is important to you in your career and job seeking, and seek to improve your situation now while the market's ripe, and whether that be with your current employer or with a new one. So I guess that leads us quite nicely into some of the hot jobs that we have at the moment.
Hello, my name is Ri, and this is Mino. Mino is just over 1 year old now. I guess what makes Mino different in any other dog is like his love to humans. So I think that's something that we can actually teach. Dogs is actually really special. Dogs is like best friend of humans. So I think like every dog that deserves to be a New Zealand top dog, to be honest. So maybe it's a chance for people to get in the competition this year and take the crown from Mino.
Okay, so before I tell you more about the hot jobs, the promo there was a nice reminder that the entries are closing this week. So you have until Sunday to get your pooch into the NZ Top Dog competition. Just a reminder as well that we do have several categories. So there's Top Dog with a Job, Top Office Job, and of course the all-important Top Home Office Dog. So that one's people's choice. Just quietly, they don't need to do anything special to get on that. Any four-legged friend is eligible to apply for that one. So get your entries in. Got to be in to win. Okay, back to the jobs. So first up, our temp role for the week is a warehouse operations role. This one is based on the North Shore in Auckland and paying $28 per hour, plus all the normal bells and whistles, KiwiSaver, holiday pay, etc. So this one looks like a mix of general warehousing, receiving and distributing as well. If you do have a forklift license, that's going to be of benefit, and you do require a full car driver's license as well. If you're interested in this or any other operations or warehouse work, get in touch with Scott Bannister from our Auckland team. Okay, and the perm role for the week is coming out of Wellington. So Caroline has a senior policy advisor. I actually know that Caroline and Peter have a whole bunch of different policy roles. So if this one isn't quite right for you, please still get in touch with the team, because they're bound to have some other opportunities that may be right. If you are interested in this particular one, it's looking within the regulatory space. Please get in touch with Caroline to find out more. And let's have a look at some of our roles over in the UK and Australia. Okay, so looks like a sales role for a change from the team in London here. So this is a permanent position, paying between 31 to 40,000 pounds, and another one from Hannah Scanlon. So again, if you are looking to make the move to the UK, take advantage of the new and improved working holiday visa, feel free to reach out directly to the team at People to People in the UK, or to us at Frog, and we'll be sure to point you in the right direction. Let's see what the Aussies have to offer.
We are currently working with a leading independent law firm. They operate nationally, and where everyone is committed to achieving exceptional results. They have a distinctive culture that is supportive and enjoyable. As a legal assistant, this role is full-time, and it will also be supporting the partners and wider team in their corporate and mergers and acquisitions team. Some of the duties are, but not limited to, document production, formatting and amendment, diary management, monthly billing, and other general admin duties. To be considered for this role, it is required that you have experience with billing or experience in similar role with exceptional attention to detail and organised skills. But what's in it for you? Be a part of a firm who can provide themselves with a flexible working environment. You'll be able to take advantage of discounted gym memberships, fitness classes, health and wellbeing, charity events, and ongoing training and courses. If this sounds like the role for you, please get in touch.
Okay, well, welcome, Manish. Great to have you on the show today to talk about job seekers. What's that? Job seekers versus hiring managers, and looking at perhaps there's a bit of conflict with workplace flexibility. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Thank you, Shannon, for the intro. Kia ora whanau. It can be a bit of a job circus at times. So with the flexibility conundrum within jobs, and with hiring managers and job seekers, more often than not having different expectations of what the model can look like. With more often than not with office jobs, at the back of COVID, companies did start going into a more hybrid work model where people can work 2 or 3 days from home and the rest of the days from the office. It did get extended a lot more than that, with companies offering completely work from home roles, and that kind of becoming the norm. And there was a period which still extends to now, where we interview candidates, and they can ask us, instead of what days I will be working, is there work from home availability with this job? They could go straight into a question and ask you, what days am I going to be working from home? So it is a bit of a given at the moment with job seekers, with hiring managers thinking otherwise. My personal experience and opinion on the flexibility model would be for hiring managers, would be to measure performance and outcomes, as opposed to the actual hours that the employees are working. Some of our top consultants within the office work sometimes 2 or 3 days from home, but we do have performance metrics, as you would with any given job that has a office setting. So if you are consistently hitting those KPIs and sometimes be able to perform even better from the comfort of your home, there really isn't a difference if you are working from the office or working from home. We also do have anchor days here at our office, where people are available in the office, so you can have those conversations. You can be a part of a team and have those meetings and have those bonding experiences. But it is usually 1 or 2 days a week. For me, when I started in recruitment, I was quite new to the entire industry, so it really helped me a lot, 5 days being in the office, because as a rookie, I had to pick up information from people's phone calls. I had to consult with people on a regular basis, which is just a bit harder when done virtually. Um, in conclusion, I think it is something that is definitely here to stay. It is something that can definitely work, but hiring managers just have to plan and try to measure the outcomes and their employees' performance, as opposed to the physical hours they are putting in.
Yeah, great. And do you think with the conflict, do you think it's more, there's always going to be differences in different organizations and individuals, but as a general rule, do you think it's more the employers are starting to push for a return to the office or more days working in the office, and employers are going the other way and going, oh, actually, I quite like the 30-second commute to work when I'm working from home, so I'll stick with that?
So I think the key, like with everything and with flexibility as well, is having the balance. Um, as we talked about COVID and people going into a 5-day work from home model, and after that, employers trying to get back people into the office. I have a very close acquaintance of mine who works at the Chamber of Commerce in an analytical position. He was mentioning to me that he works sometimes 4 or even 5 days from the office. Employers have tried to get people back in the office, but like you said, they do enjoy the 30-second commute to the coffee table and having that flexibility and getting the chores done at home. But so I think it's definitely the balance. Employers can try to get people back in for 2 or 3 days to have that anchor and team culture. But flexibility, I certainly think, should be a part of any role wherever possible.
Yeah, excellent. Well, be interesting to see as we're starting to see some shifts in the market, and perhaps you're talking about that balance of power between job seekers and employees. Not really versus employers, but from the other side. So to see how that changes as the market tightens up. So watch this space. Hopefully, it doesn't disappear altogether.
Sure.
Well, it won't at our work anyway, Manish. Don't worry.
Also, I've been on the live before. I work within the sales and property specialization. My information is on the screen. So if you are looking for roles within property management, facilities, or account management, please get in touch with me.
Excellent. True salesman, making sure that gets across as well. Thanks, Manish. Let's go have a look at the polls from last week. Okay, so this one's quite timely, actually. So, as a job seeker in the current market, what's the most common challenge you are facing in 2023? So, the head answer here was a low salary offer. So interesting to see that despite we just saw that the wage increases was outpacing inflation. So it was 6.9%. But of course, it's not even across everywhere you see. So we have seen in some particular industries some massive pay increases, and that balances out, averages out across others. So there may be some places where they haven't had any increase at all. So again, that advice still sticks. Take this time while the market is still in the employees or job seekers' favor. And if you're not getting the right conditions where you are, or in the jobs that you're looking for, now is the time to get in there and to go after what you're worth. Other things there, whether they're underqualified. So I suspect there'd be a lot of, it's always that conundrum for recent grads starting out, entering the job market, where it's really hard to get that experience to get a start. And of course, flexibility is still a factor in there as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the poll for this week. This one, interesting one. Would you consider job hopping as a career progression strategy? I know I've got a fairly clear idea on this one, and I would suggest it's probably not the right time to be employing that particular strategy, but I guess I don't want to sway the results too much. So we'll see how that comes out, but love to hear your comments as well. Well, that is it for the show today. Thank you for joining us again. Go out and enjoy the sunshine. Perhaps watch some of the quarterfinals for the FIFA World Cup. I'll be there. And please join us next week. See you then.